quantitative easing, okay, there is a relationship between operation twist and quantitative easing. What is the relationship is that, okay, see, there's a high chance I told you that there will be a question on operation twist or yield curve or bond price or bond yield. A prominent current affair again from related to money and bank, okay. Now what has happened in relation to US is that, okay, this is actually a, try to understand that mainly the UPSC, try to understand what the US Federal Reserve do now. What any actions done by the US Federal Reserve has an impact over Indian market. What happened is that when US Federal Reserve, you know what is US Federal Reserve? The central bank of US, okay. When US Federal Reserve increases or decreases the interest rate, it have an impact over India. Just understand it, okay. This, when I explain this, a future question can be answered by you. So how this impacts, okay, how the US Federal Reserve decision have an impact, and you know that US is the largest economy, yes or no? And most of the US investors is coming to India to invest, especially in our stock market. So there are many US investors invest in our stock market. When I say in our stock exchange, okay, they invest in our shares, they invest in our debt securities, especially government securities, and they invest in our government securities, and they also invest in our corporate bond also, even though our corporate bond is not that large, but they invest in our corporate bond also. Now what happened in relation to US Federal Reserve decision is that, okay, try to understand, when US Federal Reserve say that, okay, their interest rate is low, what will happen to the US treasury bills or treasury bonds? Price will go down, na? So the US investors who are, and what is the advantage of a government security? They are safe. Everybody invests because nobody will lose their money. But the return on government securities will be lesser. But safety is there. Okay. So now, if US Federal Reserve, imagine US Federal Reserve is giving only 2% interest. India's government security is giving 7% interest. You get what I am saying? 2% and you are an investor. Both are safe. Now only risk what they will think is that the currency valuation. Okay, you getting what I am saying? So there is a 5%. So investing in India is more profitable than investing in US. But what is the factor they will also take into consideration? Currency volatility. Okay. So now India's, whatever it is, in India's bond yield or 10-year benchmark bond yield, which is a standard government security rate, okay, that will be always somewhere near to 6%. There have been situations in which it has gone to 8%, but normally it is between 6 to 7%. India's bond yield. But US is between 1 to 2% or 2 to 3%. So imagine US is continuously decreasing. US is continuously decreasing the interest rate. So when US is continuously decreasing the interest rate, that is what is called as quantitative easing. Quantitative easing means it is related to quantity of money supply. Quantity of money supply, okay. So it is continuously, issuing money, new currency is being issued, and thereby it is also same time it is lowering the interest rate. It is lowering the interest rate. So what will happen is that there will be more money with the US investors, because it is easy to take loan, because generally the interest rate is very low in the US economy. So loans become very cheaper, and they don't prefer to invest in US government securities, because if you invest in US government securities, even though it is safe, there's no profit. It's only marginal profit is there. So what these US investors will do, they will prefer countries like India, not only India, okay, they prefer Southeast Asian economies, any economy, emerging economy, where they will get a much better return. So this is how the US decision. So when US go for quantitative easing, what is quantitative easing? Decreasing the interest rate and increasing the money supply in US. Okay. So what will happen? more money will come to emerging economies, like foreign money will come to India. Similarly, when US Federal Reserve increase the interest rate, they'll flow back. So this is the relation between how it impacts Indian economy, and this affects our currency also. It affects our currency. In the foreign exchange market, when the foreign currency comes, inflow also, outflow also, it have an impact. So this link, you keep in mind. Now, why I am discussing so detail is that I have a feel that either operation twist or quantitative easing can be asked, because both have originated from US. Okay, and we have copied it, operation twist. And when the US dumped the operation twist, we have taken it. The last time the US have dumped operation twist is in 2012. Because in US it was not working, because they are having inverted yield. Operation twist is not for inverted yield, okay. But India it is useful. Actually, it is useful. Now, after stopping operation twist, US started using quantitative easing. So what is in operation twist? US Federal Reserve was doing simultaneous buying on selling of government securities. Okay, which type? So be very clear. Okay, what type of security they buy and what type. So that is operation twist. Here, it is not simultaneous buying and selling. Rather, it is injecting. In quantitative easing, it is injecting money. So what it is doing in relation to government securities? It is buying, not selling. Okay, and continuously buying, and thereby the interest rate, by continuously buying the government securities, interest rate will come down. You getting what I am saying? So what about this question? In quantitative easing, a central bank purchases government securities in the market in order to, so what will happen? More money will be there, more money will influence low interest rate. So our statement is correct. Second statement, quantitative easing increases the money supply by flooding financial institutions with capital. Both the statement are correct, okay.